Salute to everybody in the building. Hit that like button as you come on in. We're going to talk a little bit of boxing. The following week after, right? It's been a 4 week since Terence Crawford demolished Canelo Alvarez. And now we looking to move forward in the sport of boxing. What's next for Terence Crawford? What's next for Canelo? And what we got to look forward to in the upcoming weeks in the sport of boxing. Salute to everybody in the building. Hit that like button as you come on in. You said you like to see who Bud fights at 160? Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Floyd Mayweather came out and gave his thoughts on the fight. I forgot to get the clip. Floyd Mayweather, man. I was expecting Floyd to give us his he had his glasses on and he was real professional and you know Floyd Mayweather answers questions however he wants to answer them. You'll never get what you want out of Floyd Mayweather, man. Never. But salute to everybody in the building, man. You said Boyd went from 4-time undisputed. So do we want to see Terence Crawford continue boxing or should Terence Crawford hang him up? I mean, what's next for Bud Crawford? I mean, what's left for Terence Bud Crawford? What's left for Canelo Alvarez? Hold up. This is who they saying for Crawford at 160. Where is it at? Janabek, Lara, Adames. These are the guys for Bud at 160. You said you want to see him knock Jamel Charlo out. Jamel Charlo and Errol Spence should be in negotiations. Hopefully that don't fall apart, right? Hopefully for whatever reason that don't fall apart. Hopefully that fight gets made and we get to see the big fish go up against the lion Jamel Charlo in the near future. You said the money is in the rematch with Canelo. Yeah, that's the only fight worth of money at this point for Bud. Everything else is just be him just kind of just fighting for fun. And do he still want to do this shit for fun? Is he going to train as hard as he did for Canelo Alvarez? Is he going to really put out like that for any of these other dudes? Guys like Jerron Boots Ennis. You still got people out there saying that he ran from 54 from Boots because, the new sparring footage surfaced of Jerron Boots Ennis whooping on Sean Porter. We go look at that in a little bit. Wait till more people get in the building, but yeah, man. I don't know, man. We're gonna talk about what's next for Bud Crawford. But starting next Sunday, we're gonna be talking about this is gonna be the next debate topic until the fight happens in November between David Benavidez and Anthony Yard, and of course Devin the Dream Haney and Brian Norman Jr. So that's going to be the next debate episode on Sundays, starting next Sunday. You said Errol don't got a coach. Oh yeah, you said what? Yeah, Thurman Fundora next. I forgot all about that, bro. See, the lack of promotion for these fights, man. The lack of promotion. I forgot all about the Thurman Fundora. I forgot all about it. Completely forgot all about it. Then, we're going to see if they can make the Spence Thurman fight. We'll see. October 25th. Okay. So I think Jerron Boots Ennis is the fight actually we got next, right? If I'm not mistaken, it's October 11th or something like that when Jerron Boots Ennis returns against Lima. I still haven't heard nobody say this dude's first name, but Lima. And then from there, we got the Thurman Fundora fight. It's a really quick turnaround for Keith Thurman. Yep, Boots is on the 11th, man. And speaking of Jerron Boots Ennis, man, his sparring footage surface has came out of Boots whooping on Sean Porter.
stuff like that, but my man is making moves before guys throw the punches. He's moving his feet. I mean, it was marvelous, honestly, to see this dude defensively move the way that he does things. He talks a whole lot during the sparring. Anything I throw, he like, no. I'm like, hey, all right, I get it. You see everything I'm throwing, I get it, Oh! This dude punched me with a right hand. The joint came so fast, I didn't even see it, right? And it hit me on the forehead. And I got my headgear on. And it jarred my neck, right? I said, damn!
Drum Boots Ennis was whooping on Showtime Sean Porter, I guess, right? Sparring footage, I guess he's a sparring partner for Sean now, and he was getting whooped on and styled and profiled, So we go see, man. Drum Boots Ennis got a fight coming up with Lima. He fights all these guys. We hear about him whooping these dudes, these top-level guys in sparring. We hear these sparring stories, but we ain't seen the story in the ring. You know what I'm saying? We ain't seen the story in the ring yet, man. That's all we see, all hear about when it comes to Jerron Ennis at this point is sparring stories. I'm looking to see his story. You know what I'm saying? What kind of history he making in the ring? You know what I'm saying? When the lights are shining bright. Not in these sparring stories where he's kind of seemingly really comfortable. You know what I'm saying? He's really comfortable in sparring. But we need to see how he performs in the big lights against a solid, strong opponent. But salute to everybody in the building. Hit that like button. Canelo fans still didn't show up as expected. They made a fool of themselves. The thousands of them made a fool of themselves.
Keep Canelo's name out of your fucking mouth, Terence Crawford. There's levels to this, and he's levels above you.
These people, they disappear. They abandoned Canelo too, right? You got a lot of them hopping on the Benavidez bandwagon and saying Benavidez is the new face of Mexican boxing, and they're begging him to go down and beat Crawford. You keep hearing things about him going down to fight Terence Crawford at 168 pounds. I don't know. What do we think about that? What do we think about David Benavidez coming down to the 168 pounds to beat Terence Crawford, right? This is what they want. They want him to come down just to beat him. You know what I'm saying? They don't really care really who do it. They just want somebody to come down and do it. Yeah, they disappeared, man. Hold up. But Crawford came out for the Nebraska Huskies, right? They representing, you know what I'm saying? They Omaha kid, Bud Crawford. He came out the 168 shirt. I think he came out with like 147 shirt before. Now he came out with the 168. You know what I'm saying? He just conquering every division in boxing and setting records. I say at this point for Terence Crawford, there's nothing really left to do, man. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing left to do. Stick around and do what? You know what I'm saying? Fight who? Jamel Charlo. Is that really, interesting at this point? Maybe a Jamal Charlo. He's undefeated still, a guy at 168 pounds. Um, there's I don't know, man. I don't know. Because Canelo Alvarez was the fight, you know what I'm saying? Like that was the big fight. That was the fight to really determine who was going to be the man of this era and everything, right? Oh, I ain't gonna be able to play that right now, bro. Yeah, I ain't gonna be able to play that right now, bro. But I say if he continues boxing, he can go down to 160 pounds. I say he should fight there. I don't know. Some people say he could stay at 68 and fight there. Guys like Hazim Shiraz is gonna be there. It's pretty big dudes. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what Bud Crawford should do. I say he should do whatever he wants to do, but ultimately, I wouldn't be mad if he retired from the sport of boxing. Just sitting back thinking about it after a week after the fight, it's like there's really nothing left for this dude to do after the Canelo fight. What you gonna do? Rematch Errol Spence? Nobody really wants to rematch, right? I mean, nobody truly wants to see the Canelo rematch after how lopsided that after the lopsided the fight was. Nobody really wants to see that either. So I don't know, man. They keep talking about Benavidez, and I think that'd probably be the only fight that's probably will be intriguing for Crawford at this point. But salute to everybody in the building. You say you think he's retiring? Yeah, I think he's retiring too, man. I don't see no reason for him to stick around. Right? He's pound for pound number one once again. You got guys like Bob Arum coming out and Eddie Hearn trying to push their guys as the number one guys pound for pound. The Alexander Usyks and the Naoya Inoue of the world. But when we looking at like, and I'm not slighting those dudes, some guys may got a strong case for each of those guys. But when I'm looking at the longevity of the whole situation, and the consistency, I mean, Terence Bud Crawford is cut above the rest, man. There's just no question at this point. He went up there and beat Canelo Alvarez. He made it look easy. You know what I'm saying? Naoya Inoue is kind of struggling in some of these fights. You know what I'm saying? He's for what it's worth, right? If you want to compare these pound for pound dudes, you know, they hit the deck, they getting hurt and orbitals broke and stomachs busted open, stuff like that. You never see any of this from Terence Crawford. So, he no split decisions, no none of that stuff. No situations to where it was a rematch. So I mean, really, this dude is number one pound for pound until he retires from the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? That's just pretty much what it is. Salute to everybody in the building, man. We just getting started. You said Bud should retire? You said he should go to 160 and fight Adamas? That'll be a good fight. He'll probably stop them dudes at 160. He'll probably stop some of those dudes at 160. Lara is one of my favorite fighters. Lara's 42 years old now. I think Bud and Lara will be a good fight, a good chess match. That'll be a good fight for me as a fan. Um, I know who will win that fight, but it'll be a fun fight for me as a fan. Um, Carlos and Diamonds and Bud, they pretty cool with each other. They had a legendary sparring session that went viral. I think that'll be a good fight. And I think Bud and Janabek, Bud will probably beat up Janabek too. You know what I'm saying? Even though Janabek is pretty big, in my opinion, Janabek is pretty big. I'm surprised those dudes was fighting at 160 pounds, as big as they are. Where's he at? Yeah, as big as he is. I'm surprised he was fighting at 160 pounds. Janabek, but that's where he was at. Weight bullying, I guess. You know, look how much bigger he is than Bud. You know what I'm saying? And he fighting at 160. Like, stop playing with me, bro. Like, stop playing. And it's off-season Crawford, it looks like, too. It's off-season Crawford with clothes on. This dude getting ready to get in the ring, and he's like two sizes bigger than Crawford, and he fights at 160. Are you fucking kidding me? Stop playing with me, bro. Look how big his man. Stop. Janabek is a fucking light heavyweight fighting middleweights and shit, bro. He's a weight bully. Janabek is a weight bully, bro. Hey, Janabek bigger than Canelo, man. Like, come on, man. You said fight Thurman? I would like to see that too. Crawford versus Thurman, I'd definitely be interested in that fight. As a fan, because I'm a fan of both guys. I think Keith Thurman has a good style to give Bud Crawford some trouble. I don't think he'll beat Bud, but I think Keith Thurman has a good style because he got some good feet. He got some. He throws punches. He throws from odd angles. He got good feet and he got heart. I think that's a fun fight for boxing. You said high risk, low reward. You said Bud can't beat this dude. I wouldn't take that fight. You don't think Bud can beat Janabek? I don't know, man. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't seen too much of Janabek. When I did see him fight, I see him crushing guys. So, and looking at this picture, he looks pretty big, man. Like I said, Bud Crawford can fight certain dudes at 68. You know what I'm saying? He can finesse his way into a Canelo fight because Canelo isn't necessarily a dude that's melting down, that originally melted down to a 47. These guys like Janabek and Beevil and all these dudes, they big fucking dudes, man. Who was never fighting at 47. Salute to DL87 for the super chat. He said Spence was the final boss, but when he beat him, he unlocked the secret super boss, Canelo. Time to take some novelty fights and stack bread. Hey, I'm cool with some novelty fights. I'm actually cool with some novelty fights. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know what that will be, but I would assume it'll be something like they'll have to come to 160 or something if there's like a 47 guy or something. I don't know, bro. Crawford can kind of do what he wants, bro. He got the juice right now. Bud can literally do whatever he wants. If he don't want to fight Benavidez, then that's no. You said Janabek is super skilled fighter, very talented. He's a problem. Yeah, see, yeah. Nah, we cool on that then. We cool on that. Nope. We cool on that. Boots Ennis can deal with Janabek one of these days. Terence Crawford is taking novelty fights, and he's going on his European tours. He's going on his bum of the month clubs. This is what Bud is doing now. You know what I'm saying? He's having his expedition fights. You know, he's doing that stuff now. He earned the right now. You know what I'm saying? No more of these fights. Yeah, it's time for Boots to pick up. Yeah, it's Boots. This is Boots' job. Boots has got to fight Janabek. You know what I'm saying? That's what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Crawford, he already been through the war and battle tested already. He's done now. It's time for Boots to go through the fire now. It's Boots' turn now. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we doing. We pushing Boots and Janabek. We pushing Boots to conquer 154 pounds. We pushing Jerron Boots in to see what he really got. Because he was up in there helping Canelo Alvarez and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking upside his head like he crazy from doing that because it didn't help at all. You know what I'm saying? So what was you so what was you doing over there with Canelo Alvarez? You know what I'm saying? You little asshole. So you better go out there and conquer 154 pounds. You know what I'm saying? You better go up there and conquer 160 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And then you better conquer 168 pounds. Yeah, you said you with Bud fighting UFC, dude. Me too. A UFC fight, a novelty fight against a Taporia. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll be fun. Bud should do some fun fights. You know what I'm saying? He can ask for the bag. You know what I'm saying? Turkey said, all right, don't retire. Okay. All right, let me fight Taporia. Give me like 30 million though. Done. Boom. Have a big old crossover fight. Bud Crawford versus Taporia, and he can shut up Evil Ken Florian. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Ma, see you in the building. Yeah, see, y'all saying Bud should fight the UFC dude. I think so too, man. But Bud did get asked about it, and he didn't seem too interested. You know what I'm saying? He asked about the money. You know what I'm saying? He said, "How much am I going to get? When I'm going to get half of what I'm going to get from fighting Canelo?" You know what I'm saying? And dude was like, "Probably not." He's like, "Well, what do I get out of fighting Taporia?" I say he should do it just to beat up on somebody. If he wants to fight, you know what I'm saying? And he wants to just do what he wants to do and get a lot of money, just beat up on Taporia real quick. You know what I'm saying? He talking shit. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody in boxing talking trash for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? He's like boxing royalty right now. He's real well respected. They ain't gonna be talking about Bud, but the UFC dude will be talking trash. You know what I'm saying? And it could sell, you know, and you go up in there and represent boxing and whoop on dude in a novelty fight, make some money, get some clout. You know what I'm saying? Put boxing on your back real quick and beat up on the UFC dude in the boxing ring. The double champ, the double UFC champ versus the undisputed boxing champ. I mean, come on, man. It makes a lot of sense. Now that as I'm talking about it, it actually makes way too much sense for Crawford to not to fight Taporia. Actually, it has a little backstory, pictures on the internet of them together. You know what I'm saying? They could use all that. I mean, come on, this fight is already built up. That fight is already built up, man. They tripping. That fight is already built up. You know, smash the like button, man. I think that should be a fight he should look into. Dana White probably ain't gonna let it happen though, honestly. Dana White will lose his shit if Tuporia lost. You know what I'm saying? He's like the last guy they got. You know what I'm saying? He's like their new Conor McGregor, you know, and they can't afford to lose this dude, honestly. But money talks. Turkey seems to have a lot of influence. Turkey's taking over the NFL and, you know, WWE and UFC. He's taking over everything. So if anybody can make it happen, Turkey will make it happen. But that's if Crawford is on board with it. Because we already know Topuria will take the fight because the UFC fighters don't make these big paydays. You said Christian Banks Jr.? I think that'd be a cool fight too. In the UK or something, you know. UK, some good boxing fans over there. They'll pack out one of those stadiums, make a lot of money. Christian Banks versus Bud, Crawford versus Eubank. You know what I'm saying? They both older fighters. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that too. I like Chris. You know what I'm saying? But he got to get past Connor's rough little ass again. And he get past him, and then I say, go ahead and see what you can do with Bud. But Bud knocks out Christian Banks, though. Bud knocks him out, though. I ain't gonna lie. Bud knocks him out. Probably like in 5 or 6 rounds. Similar to Kell Brook. He gets Kell Brook or something. Bud knocks him out. You said Eubank training with Bomac right now? Oh, he is? Oh, shit. Well, shit. Chris went right back to Bomac. He went right back to Bomac. So, nah, that fight ain't gonna happen. That fight definitely ain't gonna happen. Yeah, Yulia is a really good fighter, man. He is. He's a really good fighter, and he got some really good hands too. But I would like to see his hands in the boxing ring, because yeah, them dudes, some of them dudes, they be having good boxing skills, do be looking good in the octagon. But I need to see you in the boxing ring. And smash that like button. Bud versus Ben. I don't know. I think I don't know. I feel like that's kind of like Shakur's fight or something. You know what I'm saying? Because Shakur might got next. I think Shakur and those guys got inspired by Crawford's big win and what he accomplished. I think a lot of the younger guys are inspired by that. So I think Shakur is gonna go after some of those type of dudes. You said Christian Bank easily 80K. Yeah, they'll do 80K easy. 80K easy. That might be Shakur's super fight. But I think it'll be even better super fight for Shakur if Conor Ben can actually get past Chris Eubank. I don't think he can get past Eubank. I don't think he can get past him. You said Janabek? Nah, I don't know, man. That is, depends on what Bud looking for, man. Like what is he looking to do? You know what I'm saying? Like he got the juice now. So it's like what do you want to do? Do you want to take a tough fight and shit? Like, do you want to take a tough fight a tough dude with no name? You know what I'm saying? And get no credit for it like you've been doing your whole career? Or do you want to see what's out there, like as far as big name? You know what I'm saying? Big name value. It may not be as a tough as a fight, but the name value could, bring in some money. So what it's up to Crawford what he wants to do. Do he wants to fight a no name dude like Janabek, a tough Eastern European fighter? You know what I'm saying? With no name and he don't get no credit for it? Or do he wants to wait around and see what happens? I don't know. He definitely ain't going down to 54 to fight no boots. But I'm looking forward to the boxing that's coming up. Of course, we gonna have to see what Boots looking like against Lima. I expect Ryan to stop the dude within 4 rounds. And if he don't, then yeah, he's gonna I give him like 4 or 5 rounds, man. That fight shouldn't go past 5 rounds against Lima. I don't care about it being his debut or none of that. You know, Crawford took his 168-pound debut against Canelo Alvarez, so I ain't really trying to hear nothing about no training wheel fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not trying to hear it. What's up, Jason Williams? Salute. I don't know, man. I think Crawford should just retire, bro. If he's not gonna do any type of novelty type fight, you know what I'm saying? And if it's not a fight that's not gonna interest him, then I say he should just go ahead and then what better way to go out than to go out like right now? You know what I'm saying? Like there's no better way to go out. Like this is literally the best way you can go out. Now I know he probably want to flex for a little minute with his belts and stuff like that, and he probably want to flex because he been doing this for a long time. But what better way to go out than to go out like this? There's no better way to go out, man. You said he'll never be. Oh man, John Boots in this, man. He got to do something, man. I'm waiting because I'm looking at guys like Boots. I'm looking at Shakur. I'm looking at Keyshawn. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at Tank, but Tank ain't gonna do nothing. You already know Tank ain't. I'm looking at Devin. Brian Norman. Those guys. Abdullah Mason. See what those guys go do, man. Jean Bucenas can't be moving up fighting these tune-ups and shit, man. These bums. You know what I'm saying? Lima, I mean, come on, man. I seen him fight, dog. He got like 2 left feet, bro. Dude gonna be all off balance. Watch what I tell you. Watch when that fight happen. Dude gonna be all off balance. Jean Bucenas gonna be like 3 times faster than dude. He's gonna be actually behind dude a few times in the fight. Watch. He's gonna be pivoting. He's gonna be behind him. His hands gonna be down. It's gonna be early. I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be another showcase fight for Boots. That's not gonna tell us nothing. You know what I'm saying? We need to see him up in there with a real dude, a Brandon Adams or somebody. You know what I'm saying? A Brandon Adams will be a good fight. You know, but dudes gonna stay away from him. They gonna stay away from people like Brandon Adams. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those dudes that you stay away from. You know what I'm saying? He can fight a variety of different ways and shit. He's tough. He's always in shape. They gonna stay away from guys like him. You go fight a Lima. You know what I'm saying? Virgil Ortiz is fighting Lubin. That should be a good fight. You know, it's a good test for oh boy. But I now really question how tough is he at the division because Brandon Adams got Boychuk's number or Virgil Ortiz. He's about the same level as a Boychuk because he got a gift decision against that dude, and Brandon Adams beat him twice. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how things unfold at 154 pounds for sure. Yeah, he beat Boychuk twice. The first time he stopped him, and then the second time we saw what happened. He beat him up. You said you don't want to see Bud retire. You said you gotta see him get a hood and fight the Charlo fight. I mean, I'm cool with the Charlo fight. I'm cool with the Key fight. I'm cool with the Big Fish rematch. Um, did I say Thurman? The Thurman Fundora winner. I'm cool with that. Um, what else? I'm cool with a Lara fight, and I'm cool with a Taporia fight. Everything else is a waste of time. You said a possible Arrow rematch. Arrow got to show he still got that fight in him though. Arrow look like he in shape, but we don't know if he got that fight in him, man. Yep, and they got to come to 160 too. That's what we doing now. We calling all the shots. You got to come to 160. We the A side, 70-30, or whatever we give you. All that. Yeah. Yeah. 60-40, 70-30, whatever we give them. Oh, man. I'll never forget that. Yeah. Boy, 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 how things have turned around, y'all. Oh, man. I say Usyk and Crawford is number one pound for pound. If we go back to the pound for pound discussion, um, and then Inoue, you know what I'm saying? And Inoue is three for sure. You know what I'm saying? And Crawford and Usyk is well cut above the rest, in my opinion. And I got Crawford as number one. Usyk got Crawford as number one. So you got to put Crawford as number one. And since Usyk is a heavyweight, only reason why you could put Usyk on pound for pound is because he's originally a cruiserweight and he's still kicking ass. So you possibly could just put him on there. But really, you ain't supposed to put heavyweights on the pound for pound list anyway. But Usyk is a special exception, I guess. Um, and I can't argue with nobody that got him at number one, honestly. But could you argue him putting Crawford at number one? Because he got Crawford at number one. He got Bud Crawford at number one. So I think Bud is number one, man. He took the time off for he came off a layoff, right? He took no tune-ups. They say he actually had a shoulder surgery. He actually did have a shoulder surgery, apparently, right? Earlier in the year or whatever. So he came off with some fucking surgery. He came off a layoff. This is his new weight class, coming up through two weight classes. After only fighting at 54 for one. And then he went in there and this dog walked Canelo Alvarez in front of 70,000 people on Mexican Independence Day. Like, come on, bro. It made it look easy. Like, come on, man. Hit that like button, man. Terence Crawford is easily number one pound for pound. And you seen Floyd Mayweather. I should have had the clip, man, because Floyd Mayweather to me was hating. To me, he was hating. You know, since they ain't got nothing to do with him, he wasn't really, trying to give it too much press. Since it ain't about him, Floyd didn't want to talk about it too much. And since people have been comparing him and Crawford, comparing his fight to Crawford's fight, you know, he didn't want to talk about it too much. And then he actually said that he may come back at 49 years old and actually fight a real fight. But Floyd just, I don't know. Floyd never gave a prediction. He did bet on the fight, and we know what Floyd thinks of Terence Bud Crawford. We know what he thinks about him. But Floyd Mayweather also, if it's not about him, then, and since many people probably believe that Bud Crawford put up a better performance against Canelo than he did. I mean, it's debatable. I ain't gonna sit here and say Terence Crawford did. Because Floyd Mayweather, I mean, he washed the shit out of Canelo. You know what I'm saying? It was just no contest. But I would say Crawford fought a bigger, stronger, more seasoned, experienced Canelo, and he washed him too. So, and he took Canelo's biggest shots and he ate him. So I don't know, man. It's debatable who fought better, but Floyd can't, Crawford's competition now. You know, Crawford is competition for Floyd as far as the GOAT debate. They both want to go to Avenue. I like what Roy Jones said, the GOAT Avenue. You know what I'm saying? You got the guys, everybody, these whole bunch of GOATs. And you got to be, Terence Crawford has now entered the GOAT Avenue. You know what I'm saying? He's on that same block as Floyd Mayweather, but where is he at on this block? One would imagine that Muhammad Ali is at the top of the hill when we looking down the street, right? He's at the top, right? Muhammad Ali. But where's Crawford at and Floyd? Floyd Mayweather looking out the window like, damn, Terence Crawford here now. Shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's the vibe I got from Floyd, man. You said Floyd fought the Canelo that could throw combination punches. Oh, there we go. There we go. Canelo still couldn't throw combination punches in either fight. He still couldn't throw combination punches in either fight, bro. In either fight. Salute to everybody in the building. You said Bud got touched by Canelo, Floyd didn't. Yeah. Demetrius Andre was actually calling out Crawford for a fight too. I seen that, and he got into it with Ness from the Boxing Boys. They got into like a little back and forth. It got pretty nasty. Ness was going in on him. Ness was going in on him. You said Ness was tweaking. Yeah, Ness was going in on him. You said Blood Smoke Canelo. You said your name. Oh man, that's funny, bro. Yeah, so Floyd can't say he beat. He said it was a great fight for boxing. You know, I feel like slapping the shit out of him when I was listening to that interview. I'm like, man, get your ass out of here with that interview, Floyd. Like, get up out of here, dude. Like, he did that shit on purpose, man. I can't, man. I like Floyd though. That's my guy, but he's one of like, get your ass out of here, man. You did that. That wasn't, man. Get out of here with that interview, Floyd. He knew exactly what he was doing when he did that interview, man. He's a master. He's master at dealing with the media and shit. He knew exactly what he was doing, man. He think he's slick. Yeah, he think he's slick. You know, Floyd don't want to get nobody credit. No, he don't like the shit no shine. Remember when Camille, man, Camille and them couldn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Floyd got up in there and started talking about his career and what he was doing. Camille was like, damn, man, this is my post-fight reaction. Yeah, Floyd was real selective with his hand because of his hands and shit. But Floyd, like I said, Floyd changed the sport for better or worse. And I think Crawford changed it back. You know what I'm saying? I think Crawford kind of changed it back. Crawford showed fighters and people in general that, man, you can do whatever you put your fucking mind to, bro. They say this shit can't be done. All right, I'm gonna show you it can be done. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it don't necessarily end well when a guy move up two weight classes. Well, Bud showed you that it can be done. Actually, Usyk showed everybody it could be done too by whooping on Fury, who was like 50 something pounds heavier than him. You know what I'm saying? So that's a hell of a feat as well. You know what I'm saying? So these two guys showing you that you could kick some ass regardless of how big that weight is. That weight, the shit don't matter sometimes, bro. Sometimes the weight don't matter, bro. We got weight class for a reason. Yeah, we do, but sometimes for certain dudes, it just don't matter. Some dudes are just professional ass kickers. And it don't matter what weight, they'll kick your ass. And Bud Crawford's one of those dudes. You said what's Tank's skills, man? Tank is up. Man, don't see y'all bring up Tank on purpose, man. Cause we know, cause we waiting for Tank. Man, Tank ain't that guy, man. We gotta look for guys like Shakur. And actually, on a smaller scale, Tiafimo, guys like him, man, who, you know, who actually do be looking for the smoke, but for whatever reason, his fights don't happen. We gonna see if the fight with Shakur happen. But guys like Devin, you know what I'm saying? Like those are the guys that's, you know, I know Tank Davis. Tank Davis, he got Lamont Roach problems. I said we should be looking at Lamont Roach like he's that guy. And if Lamont Roach runs through Pitbull, then we should really be paying attention to Lamont Roach. Because Lamont Roach behaves like a fighter anyway. You know what I'm saying? He moves and behaves like a fighter anyway. Tank Davis he's been moving like a diva for years. And he was only on the pound for pound list due to his popularity. A lot of his clout in boxing is because he's popular. Scoring TL should be fun. I think that should be fun, man, as long as they fighting for real. But if they up in there sparring and stuff, man, it's gonna be ugly. But that should be a fun fight, as long as they fighting for real. Yeah, Tank is a novelty fighter now. You said Bud should fight him. Yeah, ain't it? Bud should fight Tank in a novelty fight. Yeah, we go beat him up too. Kick his little ass, man. Kick his little ass. Oh yeah, Schofield, Jojo Diaz. is on the Lubin card. Yeah, and what else we got? We heard there was something else that kind of dropped today. What was it? It's supposed to be on the Shakur Stevenson Teo card. I want to say Adamas Janabek, bro. I want to say Adamas Janabek should be on the works for the Shakur undercard, if I'm not mistaken. You said Turkey needs to make Bud versus Benavidez a beat. Why do Bud got to go to 68, man? Nah, man. Bud ain't fighting no Beevil. Bud ain't fighting no Better Beef. He ain't fighting no Benavidez. He ain't doing none of that. Y'all smash it like Bud. Bud Crawford ain't doing none of that. For what? Nope. Canelo as big as it gets. Anything else is you trying to be an asshole. Benavidez is a fucking giant. You see how big that dude is right now? You see how big he is? Like, hell nah, man. Come on, man. You crazy. Show your loyalty to Canelo. Cause y'all abandoning the shit out of him. I thought the Mexican people was a lot more rider than that, man. Y'all jump ship on him real quick. Y'all jump ship on Canelo super quick. Y'all looking at Benavidez. Hey, Benavidez, you get him now. You Mexican, right? Yeah, you get him. Come on, man. And Crawford get up in there and whoop his ass. Then what? Oh, well, he gonna have to fight Beevil and Better Beef the same night. Yeah, that'll get him. The B&B. The B&B, the Triple B boxing match. Yeah. Y'all just going crazy, man. Bud Crawford could do what he wants to do now. He's in GOAT Avenue now. He's on the same block as Roy Jones and all the other GOATs in the sport of boxing. He can do literally whatever he wants right now. And he's 38 years old, so he can literally do whatever. It's not like he's a 30-year-old dude in his prime or a 28-year-old fighter in his prime. No, Bud Crawford is 38 years old, past his prime. He can do whatever he wants right now. And his past his prime is still better than most dudes' prime. Ain't that some shit? Because you can't say 38 years old is in the prime. You just can't say it. It don't even sound right. And his past prime is better than most dudes' prime. We call him Terence Primetime Crawford. You said Roy Jones. Well, see, Roy Jones still on Goat Avenue, though. Roy Jones should have quit after the Ruiz fight and then maybe came back like 7 years later for like a play fight or something. Roy Jones should have been quit. He should have never have came back. Those KO losses never happened though. None of that stuff never happened to Roy Jones. Salute to Harvey for the cash out. He says now they want him to claim. Yeah, now they want to claim David, bro. Now they want to claim David all of a sudden. Yeah, they was shitting on David, bro. I'm glad you brought that up, Harvey. They was shitting on David, bro. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get your rent while I'm on here. Yeah, they was shitting on David because he was pressing Canelo. Remember that? Not too long ago, they was pressing him. And now all of a sudden they were on his got his back. Man, he better worry about Anthony Yard. That's what he better do. Why y'all worried about Bud Crawford? He better worry about Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard better show up. And he gonna have to show up. He may be strong enough and durable enough. He may be big enough and strong enough to deal with Benavidez because Benavidez don't seem as strong at 168 pounds. He just don't seem as strong. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna give him Harvey. Are you in the chat? Let's see. Y'all hit that like button, man. Hey, Harvey Price, say something in the chat, man. Yeah, man, them knockouts don't count, bro. We don't count those knockouts. You said no. Nobody said Inoue was ducking MJ, bro. Nobody said Inoue was ducking that dude. I thought that dude was ducking Inoue. I thought that dude was ducking Inoue. Hey, yeah, Anthony Yard is fighting. I mean, Benavidez fighting dudes his size now, bro. He's fighting dudes his size now. Oh, you here? Hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna add you. I'll give you a wrench. Let me see. I see it in this. Yeah. Hold up. I ain't been impressed. And I'm a fan of David Benavidez. I like David Benavidez a lot. But yeah, him at 50, him at 75, man. You know, I'm looking at him like, is this the real you? You know what I'm saying? I'm questioning, is this the real you? I wonder why he didn't pop up on the chat right here. Yeah, I'm questioning, is Benavidez, is this the real you, bro? Because at 68, you was a blitzkrieg. You was a wrecking machine. They couldn't do nothing with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just blitzing through dudes. But at 75, it's almost like he couldn't really put a dent in these guys. That's just what it's looking like. I'm just questioning, is that the real him? And mind you, he cut less weight to make the 75. So it's not like, he should be a lot strong, fresher and everything. Yeah, I don't know why that's not letting me. Oh, he probably is on the other channel, ain't it? Yeah, he probably is. That's what it is, bro. I wonder why he ain't show up on this chat though. Yeah, it's probably because he on the other channel. That's what it is. This is good shit. Bug of something else. That's exactly what it is. He's on the other channel. You said Morrell almost knocked him out at the end of the round, late blow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. I, don't be. We gonna talk about that fight starting next week. We gonna talk about those fights. Once we fully transition out of the Canelo Crawford thing, still like people still got that residue in them. It's kind of hard to get shake it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody still got that fight at the tip of their tongue before we truly transition to the next fights we got coming up. Um, so it really is gonna take these fighters to really kind of jumpstart this these other fights so we can get out of this Canelo Crawford thing. But that should be happening relatively soon. But I don't know, man. Dave Benavidez got to show me something against Anthony Yard. I think Anthony Yard, if he shows up ready, motivated, and come to win, I think he could actually win that fight. I think he could actually win that fight. Oh yeah, see, I'm on we on the main channel, Harvey Price. You on Bushido Boxing TV? We on Bushido Boxing, the original channel. You said David Benavidez stops Yard? I don't know, bro. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that, man. Anthony Yard, I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. You might be right, dog, but I'm a fan of Anthony Yard, and I feel like he's only one of the few UK dudes that got some dog in them. But them UK guys, man, they not, man. Do I want to say it, bro? I said it before a while ago, man. I don't really talk like this no more, but man, them dudes, man, they just not that tough, bro. They just not that tough, man. You know what I'm saying? They just not that tough, man. And if they are tough, um, their body breaks down or something. You know, it's something in the water over there in the UK. So hopefully Anthony Yard is an exception. Hopefully the Jamaican roots run deep and he can go in there and pull something off against the Mexican monster. Because I like Anthony Yard. But that's a tough fight, man. I don't know. I see this as a 60-40 fight. I give it a 60-40 for Benavidez. But I think Anthony Yard can make something happen if he shows up motivated. You said Benavidez stop it, Bud, at 75. Man, Bud stops Benavidez. How about that? How about that? Bud Crawford stops Benavidez. He already stopped the other Benavidez. He gonna stop the big little brother now. Since we playing. Since we playing, Big Blood go up there and 175 and beat him up then. Since y'all talking. He may look vulnerable against Yard though. He may look vulnerable against Anthony Yard. Come on, man. Benavidez, they kind of do got the same fighting style, kind of. I would say the big Benavidez uses it better. You know what I'm saying? But they got similar styles. I say the big Benavidez, the big younger brother is better though. David's better. For sure, way better. But Benavidez said he ain't even fighting no Bud Crawford, man. He said he ain't fighting Bud. And he's on his new path now. He's going to 175. He's looking to conquer that weight class. Going back down to 68 for what? Canelo was playing games for years. He gave Crawford the fight. Yeah, I don't see him in here. I still don't see him. It didn't pop up yet. It'll pop up in a second. You said Canelo versus Benavidez is still a bigger paying fight. It is. That's a big fight. But Canelo don't want to fight Benavidez. That's a horrible matchup for Canelo. Benavidez probably stops Canelo. Benavidez will go into the fight knowing that Canelo won't be able to hurt him. You know what I'm saying? With Crawford, he's a smaller guy naturally, so it's still a question like, if Canelo lands a big shot, will he be able to hurt him? And after seeing him fighting Crawford, they're like, man, he really ain't gonna be able to. If he can't hurt Crawford, he definitely ain't gonna hurt me. He's gonna walk Canelo down. Go walk him down and beat him down. Walk him down and beat him down. Yeah, see, for whatever reason, his name is still not popping up in the. I'll just do it. There you go, there you go, there you go. Here we go. All right, there we go. You got a wrench now. Yeah, Canelo thought Bud was gonna be easy work. He wanted the money too. The money was good. So Turkey lured him out with the money, man. Crawford would have never got that fight if it wasn't for Turkey, bro. Crawford needed a guy like Turkey all along. He needed a guy like Turkey about 7, 8 years ago. He needed a guy like Turkey Alashika like 8 years ago, y'all. He would have had a lot of these big fights probably because the money would have been too crazy for the you know. You said Bud must fall. Man, get up out of here, man. You still mad about Spence, man? At some point, you guys just be like, man, you know what? This dude is a bad dude. It wasn't Spence's destiny, Mike Jones. I told you. But salute to Watch for the Hook, man. He's the only Spence fan that still stick around, man. They all gone, bro. LT, Sean T, they all gone, bro. I forgot their names now. He's the only one that still come around, man. All the rest of them was just faded away. So Watch for the Hook. He got some, yeah, Lennar. Yeah, Lennar. Yeah, Lennar been gone, man, unless he's on a new account somewhere. Unless he's on a new account somewhere, man. Yeah, Bud Crawford, man. Floyd Mayweather was low key hating, boy. I swear, I almost did a video on it because he that was not, Floyd Mayweather. They always used to say back in the day, Floyd Mayweather knows exactly what he's doing with the media, and he answers the questions the way he you just never get what you want out of him. You never get what you really want out of him. And he gave the most generic response that he could have possibly have given, considering Crawford's like a little bro to him. You know what I'm saying? That was the most generic hater slow. I took it as some hating shit, man. And he seen what Timothy Bradley and everybody was saying. The Crawford to beat you. So now TBE Mayweather is talking about coming out of retirement at 49 years old to fight. I don't know. It don't matter who he fight. He can fight whoever he wants. But that's what he was talking about. Not just the Mike Tyson thing, but the whole coming out of retirement. You know, Floyd Mayweather gotta steal the spotlight, man. He gonna try to steal it from Bud, but that's gonna be real hard to do. I ain't gonna lie. People love Terence Crawford right now because he don't be bragging about no money. You know what I'm saying? He's super humble, right? He's super fucking class. He humble and classy. You know what I'm saying? He has a fighter's attitude. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be a beloved fighter like a Roy Jones. So it's gonna be real hard for Floyd Mayweather to come back and try to steal some of that shine. This is gonna be real hard. But yeah, Floyd think he's slick, man. But he's itching to come back too, man. That got him itching to come back. He actually said he might think about coming back. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That Terence Crawford win over Canelo inspired everybody. Got Floyd thinking about coming back. Bud only needs to fight one time a year. Either way has to fight 5 times a year. He has to, or he'll be forgotten. No shade to Inoue, but he'll be forgotten if he didn't fight 5 times a year. Why? Because he fights over there all the time. You said Bud Crawford got that people's champ love. Yeah, he do. Floyd Mayweather kind of, he made himself kind of the bad guy. So a lot of people still feel some type of way about Floyd. I don't mind Floyd. But I see what the little slick shit he be doing. You know what I'm saying? That was generic ass reaction. Salute to LT for the super chat. He says, I seen an old video on Fight Hub where Bob Arum said, Boy beats Pac-Man by destruction. And he didn't want to see that. 5 years ago, never made the fight. Yeah, I seen that video. Bob didn't want to see Pacquiao get hurt because he knew. Bob Arum knew. That's why I told y'all, listen to Bob. If anybody knows boxing, it's Bob Arum. Say what you want about the old man. He's been around for fucking like 1,000 years. And he still seems to be aware of what's really going on to a degree, right? He was telling everybody for years. This is why he protected Pacquiao from Crawford because he knew what was gonna happen. And now Bob is out saying that Inoue's number one pound for pound. Well, he has to because he has to sell his fighter. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford. Now you best believe if Terence Crawford was still a top ranked fighter, he'll be pushing Terence Crawford as number one pound for pound fighter. You best believe it. But Bob Arum right now is pushing Inoue as the number one pound for pound because, well, he has to. You said Bud needs to resign with Bob. No, he don't. Bud don't know. Bud don't know how to do. Bud don't need to do none of that. You said Bud will break the code on Mayweather defense. Yeah, Bud is a nightmare matchup for Floyd, bro. That's a bad fight for Floyd. We could debate for days on the end who will win, but I would say that that's a really, really bad fight for Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? It's just a bad fight for Floyd, period. It's a worse fight for Floyd than it is for Crawford. They say Crawford is chinny, but Crawford ain't chinny at all. He could take a good punch. You know what I'm saying? Remember he was chinny for some years, y'all? Dude was chinny and shit. So Floyd wouldn't even be able to really hurt Bud, y'all. And if we talking a hypothetical matchup, he wouldn't even be able to hurt TBE wouldn't even be able to hurt Crawford, bro. Crawford is a horrible matchup for Floyd. That's like probably the worst possible matchup. That's like literally the worst possible matchup for Floyd Mayweather is a guy like Terence Crawford. A guy like Crawford and a guy like Sugar Ray Leonard. It's terrible matchups for Floyd. Tommy Hearns and shit like that. Because they could box and fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Top Rank is going to stars, man. I don't know, man. Good luck with that, bro. Good luck with that, dude. That is over. It's over. Stars, bro? Stars? Yeah, it's over. It's over. Stars? Who's gonna buy stars? Nobody's buying stars. Power's done. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's buying stars no more. It's over. Top Rank is done. You might as well let Turkey get them. You might as well go and sign up with the zone, man. The zone win in the end, y'all. The zone won in the end. You said Inoue way less than high school girls. Y'all still going? Oh man, bro. Terence Crawford's the best fighter in the world, man. It's not Inoue. It's not Usyk. It's not neither. Because at 30 years old, Terence Crawford was still at the top of it. He wasn't like, you know, wait, I mean, shit, bro. Like, I mean, what the fuck, man? I don't even want to. I like. He's one of my favorite guys, man. But y'all, they gonna make me do it. How old is the monster, y'all? How old is he? And he like early 30s. Let's see how he looking when he 35. I want to see him fight Bam before he's past his prime. He 32, yeah. Give him about 3 more years. You know what I'm saying? Give him 3 more years, man. You said Bam at 115. Them dudes are some little dudes, bro. Little dudes. 115, bro. I couldn't even imagine a grown man weighing 115 pounds, dog, in real life, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I just don't think I seen it. I just don't think I seen it, bro. I mean, shit, bro. A grown man, nah. The monster got at least walk around at 140, bro. At least. There's no way he's walking around there like, nah, man. 115 pounds, bro. Nah, you can't do nothing with that, dog. You say it can't help how they built. No, I'm not knocking them at all, bro. I'm not knocking them at all. But shit, the monster got the clock is ticking, man. You know what they say about the smaller guys, and the monster is getting hit a lot more. In fights, he's getting hit a lot more now. So that's why I said give it a few more years, see what he's doing. But I do know for sure he's gonna be tough as shit. But I would suspect the monster's gonna start getting hit more and more. His reflex gonna slow down. He's a phenomenal fighter, but and he got a heart of a warrior. You have to knock him out to beat him, but we're gonna see him getting hit more and more as the years go by. You know what I'm saying? So the monster should go ahead and wrap things up soon. To be honest, he needs to get to he may need to fight a couple of super fights at 130, some meaningful fights here in America, and then go ahead and ride it out before he's like 34, 35. Yeah, oh yeah, Usyk is definitely. Hey, I'm not mad at people for Usyk, man. Usyk is a hell of a guy. Usyk and Bud a hell of a guy. I say they hell of a guy because that 50 weight advantage Fury had over him was just crazy, man. Just crazy. You said Monster look amazing against MJ. Bob did do him dirty, bro. Inoue should have fought this weekend. That would have been something for us to talk about. To kind of, transition out of the Canelo Crawford thing. They go put it on the same fucking weekend. Like, why would you do that, Bob? That was that. Now that was some. Ooh, that's why Top Rank on Stars. This is why they go on the Stars, y'all. Bad decision making. Top Rank has made some horrible decision, terrible promotion, bro. Terrible promotion. Why would you put that fight on the same night as Canelo Crawford, bro? That is the absolute worst thing you could have possibly done. The worst possible move you could have made. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next big card though, man. Well, we got Keith Thurman Fundora coming up. They ain't promoting that good at all, man. That fight's been terribly promoted. It's not being promoted well at all, if I'm honest. Um, and I'm looking forward to the David Benavidez card with Devin Haney in there. I don't really care about the Boots card. I'm gonna watch it anyway just to see how Boots look. We already know what's gonna happen. It's just a matter of how Jerron and it's gonna look. But I'm really, really interested in this fight right here. Benavidez versus Anthony Yard. That should be a good fight. Monster should win the fight, but I'm not gonna count Yard out. I'm not gonna count him out. We gonna see, man. Yard better show up though. I'm gonna be mad if he go up in there and just kind of lay down though. I'm gonna be mad as hell. You know what I'm saying? I need to see him fight like he did when he fought Kovalev. I need to see that heart. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he could beat. I think he could beat David Benavidez. I think he's strong enough. But that's a stacked card though, from top to bottom. I mean, shit. We got Bam on the card. His opponent, I'm assuming, is tough, right? I haven't been following the booger weight fighters too much lately, you know. But I would imagine he's tough. And of course, this is a pretty big step up fight for Abdullah Mason, right? Sam Noakes. He looked like a strong dude. And then of course we got a Haney and Norman fight, which is a crazy fight. I don't know who gonna win that one. And then we got the main event, which I believe is probably like a 60-40, 70-30 fight. So we got some good boxing coming up, man. You said drawing 2 tune-ups innings. Man, he better fight somebody, bro. Everybody fighting somebody, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Everybody fighting somebody. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman's fighting Fundora. In his first fight at 54, bro. Wait, no. Well, second, right? And he's fighting the most craziest dude you could fight. Like, I ain't trying to hear nothing from Boots Sanders, bro. Honestly. And y'all know I've been giving Boots slack. But, nah, man. Hell nah, bro. Not when Keith Thurman's hopping up, fighting dudes, and Crawford hopping up, fighting Canelos, and dudes just hopping up, fighting dudes. And you just, Devin Haney hopping up, fighting Normans, and everybody hopping up, fighting killers and shit, man. You fighting. Wow. Nice sale, Eddie. Good sale. I hope Keith does beat Fundora. I'm rooting for Keith in that fight. You said Top Rank hating on Bud? Yeah, they low key hating. Bob Arum said that Inoue's #1 pound for pound. I mean, I'm not knocking that, but I know what Bob is doing too, because Bob knows boxing. And Inoue is a generational talent and all that, but he ain't better than Crawford. He ain't better than Terence Crawford. Put him in the same weight class. Who wins? How about that? If Inoue was a welterweight fighter, they both was at welterweight. Who's winning that fight? Crawford or Inoue? If Inoue was a welterweight fighter with a 70-inch reach or a 69-inch reach, who wins the fight?